Alright, hello YouTube. Let's get this abomination on the road once again. Uh, I'm Rock Lucifer, or whatever other name I go by, because I'm an idiot and everything I do sucks. Let's just get this over with. This is some thoughts I have on the drag queen phenomenon. Something here. I wrote down a list of things I want to talk about. Beto, Pole, Brain Chip, Tech, Bernie, women caressing Baphomet. All right, let's just say this. Let me talk about this. These are some thoughts I've had on the entire, drag child phenomenon or child drag queens. When you compare that to, for example, let's say a child beauty pageant that I would not allow my daughter to go to or be in, and I say that with no disrespect intended for children, because I do think children's opinion should be allowed. And I understand there are probably some children that want to be in those kind of beauty pageants. I would not allow that. I would not allow my daughter to be in a bikini contest, where you have strange males that I don't know and that they don't know talking at them, looking at them, and let's not be under any false pretense. And I've said this, I'm against banning the beauty pageant and Miss America contest, for example, for adult women. And I also explained very well, by the way, the reason I'm against that is because I'm against that they're adult females. They can make decisions for themselves. And adult males have sexual impulses. And yes, we are looking at their bodies. And that's not necessarily bad. And they can choose for themselves. A lot of them work out and work hard and work their entire lives to have bodies like that. And they know men are looking at their body. And they know some women are looking at their body, and that's fine. It's not fine when it's a child. So, again, if my child, I've never made any false pretense about that. I understand the beauty pageant and the Miss America contest is sexual. I just don't think there's anything wrong with sexuality when it's between adults. I would not allow my daughter to be in a beauty pageant that allowed a bikini contest. And I would yank her ass off that stage. And when I say that, I'm just talking shit. Like, I wouldn't yank her out. I wouldn't do that. Like, anyone that watches my videos that know anything about my parenting style, damn well I would not. Like, what I mean is, I would try to explain to her, look, we don't know these men. They're not only pedophiles. Some of them could not only just to be pedophiles. They may be serial killers. I don't want you to end up on a fucking back of a milk box. We're getting the hell out of here. We're going home. And I would do the same thing for my son or a boy if he was in a contest where they wanted him to wear a bikini on stage for strange men to gawk at him that I don't know, and I don't know what they're going to do or what's wrong with them or anything about them. We're getting the fuck out of here. But that's not what a fucking drag show is. Drag queens don't do that. You're putting on more clothing, and if you're a drag queen, you're putting on more clothing. Drag queens are wearing more clothing. They're wearing makeup. They're, wearing these dresses. Go watch Tasia sometime. That's a child drag queen. And she's not being exploited in any way. She's playing dress up and they're having fun. And she's with these adult drag queens. And, it's totally equal and no one's being exploited. It's not children dressing on stage half naked for adults. That's not what they're doing. And if they were doing that, like I said, I would totally take my child out of that, or I would take my boy out of that. If I had a male child or a female child, I would take my child out of something like that. But that's not what they're doing. They are putting on more clothing. So they're not taking clothing off, they're putting on more. So I would not allow that. I would not, I don't see a problem with that. I don't think that's inherently bad. And there's such a misunderstanding and a misprecept about what the difference in what sexuality is and what gender, in what sexuality is and in what gender is, and how it has to do with what's between your brain and not what's between your ears and not what's between your legs or what's between your thighs. And what I mean by that is sexuality begins in the brain. That's what even the idiots that began circumcision in this country, because they didn't want people to fuck anymore, they didn't understand that then. Sexuality begins in the brain, and it's a compulsion that we have. and you're going to do that anyways. And you can cut off part of your dick, and it will suck more from both the male and the female, for both the male and the female, and it does suck more for the female too, even if they don't know it, because they're not getting the kind of traction they would have in anal hurts, and it's not the same, and it would be a hell, but it's not the same, and it would be a lot more pleasurable if you didn't mutilate the child's penis when he was born. For the girl and for the guy, so he's losing 20,000 nerve endings. But that is not the point. They don't understand that, Darren. They don't understand that about gender or gender identity, and how putting on some clothing is not sexual exploitation. They don't understand that. Like, they're so totally misled and misunderstanding of something, and it's ridiculousness. But obviously, I don't support sexually exploiting children. But I've never seen any real evidence that these children or that a child is being sexually exploited. And the only evidence I saw of that was a drag queen that was nude with a male child. But don't you have adult and children, children and adults of the same gender in showers and things? Don't they do that? Like, that happens sometimes, and sometimes they see stuff. It's not sexual. It's just it's the context. It's the context of what they're in. It's the context of what, like, that's the situation. And of course, you also have nudist camps. Are nudist camps sexually exploiting children, or are they sexually exploiting the child just because they're a nudist camp? And are we going to now tell nudist camps they can't be nudists? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and I don't think that it's right to do that. But that brings me back to circumcision. Would it be better if you were winding these kids up and mutilating them on stage, like mutilating their penis? Would that be okay? Would that not be rape? But it's rape to let a kid put on some makeup because he's imaginative and he just wants to wear makeup. And a lot of kids, including myself, wanted to do that when we were kids. And have you ever seen a circumcision? Have you ever looked that up on the internet of a infant being circumcised, an infant American male being circumcised in America? And they're crying and screaming, and they're going into shock pretty much. And like when they go to sleep, they say, "Oh, they went to sleep." No, what happened was they went into shock. And in a lot of cases, the damn bastard doctor didn't even give them any goddamn pain medicine when they do that. And sometimes not even a local. They, like, in some cases when that happens, they don't even give them a local pain medication, is in like a local anesthetic. They don't even give them that. Rather long a general anesthetic. They're certainly not putting them to sleep so they don't feel any of it. And they're being abused and tortured and sexually molested, really is what that is. But you're going to tell these parents of these drag kids, you can't have a child that wants to wear clothing that they want to wear, and we're going to tell you and your child what clothing they can wear? What the hell is wrong with you? And you have these fucking Republican cocksuckers saying that's okay, and then they talk about don't tread on me and we want less government. You're so full of shit, it's not even funny. And Alex Jones recently saying that, well, libertarians are bad because they don't accept something about traditional families or something. And it was some ridiculous thing they went on. And they're so trying to co-opt the libertarian movement now. And they have been doing that for a long time. And they don't give a rat's ass about libertarianism. And they are just such fascist. And this is a form of fascism. That's what they are. And it's like, well, you don't have support the family, and you're oppressing people by not supporting the family. And it's these traditions. 1 minute. You don't support the family and these traditions, and these are the same traditions that support what I just said: tying down an infant into a fucking table, and 1 minute.